Welcome to this video about waypointing. This video is directly related to the videos about folder creation and capturing images. In this video, we will be learning about using waypointing, configuring waypoints, adding waypoints, and waypoint shortcut keys and tips. So what are waypoints and what is waypointing? Waypointing is a method to direct a user to specific points in a folder called waypoints. You can think of waypoints as tabs in a book. The waypoints give a label to help a person find certain sections of the book to help them navigate faster. These waypoints could be in sequential order such as number, names listed alphabetically, and so on. This could also be when there are sections which should be grouped together, like if records have groupings within them, such as groups of birth, marriage, and death records. In short, you can think of waypointing as a mini index or grouping. You should be notified about what waypoints you should add to a project. If you have questions about waypoints, contact your field supervisor. Once you know of the waypoints you should be using, it is a matter of configuring the waypoints. This can be done during folder creation or while capturing records. When creating a folder, there are several items you have to check or enter. One of those items is waypoint categories. In this section, you will see one box labeled Available Waypoints and another labeled Selected Waypoints. The available waypoints are the waypoints you could possibly use. Since most folders will likely only require some of the waypoint types, we need to select the ones we will be using. Based on the waypoints we have been instructed to use, we will select each waypoint in the Available Waypoints box and click the button with arrows pointing to the Selected Waypoints box. When we do this, the waypoint will appear in the Selected Waypoints box. Just clicking on a waypoint option will not put it in the Selected Waypoints box. If a waypoint is in the Selected Waypoint box that shouldn't be, you can click on it and then click the button with the arrows pointing back to the Available Waypoints box, which will remove the waypoint. If you are using more than one waypoint type, you can use the move up or down buttons to get them in the order that will be most convenient to you while capturing. When you have completed configuring waypoints in folder creation, you can continue creating the folder. Once the folder is created and you are capturing images, you will see a waypointing section in the left side bar. This can be expanded or minimized by clicking the drop-down caret. By expanding this section, you can see all the waypoints selected during configuration. If you have missing waypoints and need to make an adjustment, click the Configure button. This will open the Configure Waypoints window. This window will look similar to the section we saw while making a new folder. After you make edits, click Save to save the changes made and return to capture. Now that waypoints have been configured, waypoint labels must be given by adding waypoints. We see the waypoints we configured for this folder to the left of the screen. There are a few things to note here. The first is that waypoints should only be added to documents. So, if you are capturing records from a book, you would not add a waypoint to the image of the cover of the book. The information about the book was added when creating the folder. Remember, waypoints are for organizing the documents within the folder. So when you do get to actual records being captured, you can add waypoints. To add the first waypoint, you will first capture the image of the document you will be adding the waypoint to. You will then add the waypoint. The information added to the waypoint will depend on the information in the document. In this case, these documents are organized by the husband's last name. This last name will serve as the surname range waypoint. We will also be entering the case number waypoint, which is this 5-character code that starts with AF. As we can see, this first surname is spelt DEUTZ. We enter the name into the surname range waypoint. You will notice that when we add the new waypoint, the text box will be highlighted green and a green arrow will appear on the image thumbnail. This marker says that the change was made to a waypoint in this image. Notice that the case number waypoint has not yet been added. If a waypoint shows a blank text box, then a waypoint is not added. In the case number waypoint area, we will enter the code beginning with AF. In this case, AF87C. The next document has the last name spelt DEVLET, so we will change the surname range waypoint. However, notice how the code beginning with AF is the same as the case number waypoint. We will make no change here. Because we made no change, the text box area will not turn green, signifying that the waypoint was added previously, but also applies to this record as well. Now let's talk about some keyboard shortcuts and some other tips. When making incremental changes to a waypoint category, there is a shortcut to help you, Control-I. The waypoint category, which has the radio button selected, will be affected. Control-I will increase the entry by 1. If this is a number, it will increase the number by 1. If it is a letter, it will go to the next letter. If this is a word, it will increase the last letter by 1. If you are wanting to change a word or the whole entry of the waypoint category with the radio button selected, you can use the Control-J keyboard shortcut. By clicking Control-J, the waypoint category with the radio button selected will be highlighted, and then a new entry can be made. This is useful when switching between entire last names or record types. There may also be a time where you mistakenly add a new waypoint. If you change the waypoint back to what it was previously, you will notice that it stays green as if it is a new waypoint. That is because it is being treated as a new waypoint. To revert back to the waypoint that was previously there, click Delete. It will clear the current information and revert back to the information that was there previously. If for some reason the previous waypoint shouldn't be applied, but there is no new information for that waypoint, you can click Off to remove the waypoint. If a text box is empty, then no waypoint is applied. Even so, when you first click Off, the text box will go green because the change to the waypoint occurred on this record. You can also review all the waypoints at once by clicking the button labeled Overview at the bottom of the waypointing section. This will bring up a window displaying all the waypoints and the images and page numbers where the waypoints were first placed. You can make changes here. If there are blank spaces or image numbers are missing, it means that all the images between the rows shown will have the same tags as the earlier image or the row above. If you need to add a waypoint and the correct row isn't shown here, you can go back to the image and change the waypoint there. Even if you failed to add any waypoints, you can always go back afterwards and add them. That finishes up this video. Please take a look at the other DCam training videos. See you then!